Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. We're going to be taking a look at a few articles. Bitcoin having quite a little bit of a sell-off as of right now. We're going to take a look at the charts, see what we might be able to determine where the price might be headed to. And let's take a look at a few articles. If that sounds interesting, stick around, and here we go. All right, if you're brand new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like. Let me know what you think about the up and coming bull run of 2021 that will be taking place, and how you're preparing for that, whether you're just buying Bitcoin or whether you're buying altcoins. I'd like to hear from you, so make sure you comment down below. Share this video with your friends and families too as well. So let's take a look here at Cointelegraph. 3 reasons why Bitcoin price volatility rejected near 20,000. So as y'all know, that we did get a little bit of a rejection at 20K. We didn't quite get above it and hold support, but that's what we're looking for on our next big move possibly. So let's see, Bitcoin price strongly rejected near the 20K resistance, leading analysis debate to whether a quick recovery is in the cards. Bitcoin finally managed to secure a new all-time high, but the digital asset rejected strongly near 20,000. On-chain analysis say a sell-off from what whales and miners combined with 20,000 level acting as resistance level caused a fierce drop. So possibly miners still capitulating here could be the reason that the sell-off still occurred. What leads whales and miners to sell Bitcoin? For whales and high net worth investors, liquidity is the most important factor. Because they deal with large orders, they need to calculate the slippage their sell orders will cause. Typically, the best period for whales to sell is when there is a peak in euphoria in the markets met with large buyer demand. This allows whales to more efficiently sell their holdings without causing massive volatility. With the price of Bitcoin officially surpassed all-time high on Coinbase, it caused the market sentiment to become highly bullish. Shortly thereafter, whales started to sell, causing large liquidations across major exchanges. CryptoQuant CEO Ki Young-ju explained that whale withdrawals were slowing down on November 30th. He said, "I called short-term bearish based off miner selling, whale activeness in exchanges, and no whale withdrawals, but I knew enough exchange stablecoin reserves would break 20K by this year. If all-time high rejection happens, it could be a huge pullback as whales would sell BTC heavily." And that's what we've kind of been seeing, is that, you know, the 20K sell-off that is occurring as of right now. We'll see how much we've actually just retraced on it and kind of go from there. But you know, I think that obviously, you know, people either FOMOing in, and retail obviously wants to FOMO in at the top. So you're going to see a lot of the you know, whales start to dump on retail too. And, you know, people that have been holding ever since the last 20K bull run and possibly accumulating during the bear market are also going to be taking some of their profits when they feel necessary, right? The confluence of whales keeping BTC on exchanges, which means higher sell pressure and sell off from miners, amplified BTC's downturn. Key also noted that the whales began to deposit Bitcoin into exchanges once again, which happens when whales want to sell their holdings. So we'll take a look at a few other articles and then we'll go over there. Last month closed right after previous all-time high. Monthly candle closed. This month closed right at the all-time high. Really impeccable chart. Okay, cool. And then we have here CoinDesk. Missed the Bitcoin rally. Here's a low-risk strategy to ride the Bitcoin market. How dollar cost averaging saves money. So yeah, as you know, we've always talked about dollar cost averaging on this channel too as well. Obviously having your holding bag along with your trading bag, if you feel necessary, is the safest way to do things too as well. DCA, also known as a consistent dollar plan, involves buying smaller amounts of assets on a regular intervals. So we kind of already know what dollar cost averaging is. We won't kind of go into that. The risk of certain option strategies for retail traders. Some investors may think implementing synthetic strategies through their options market, such as buying a put options against long position in a spot market. The put would gain value in the event of a sell-off, migrating the loss on paper and the long spot market position. So obviously talking about, you know, if you wanted to trade options, or you know, as some people like to call it, leverage exchanging and stuff like that of that nature, you know, you could obviously do that too as well. A little bit more high risk to be trading, especially during a bull market too as well. You know, you're already pretty much long on Bitcoin if you hold Bitcoin too. So this is obviously, different strategies that you could maybe use during this bull market cycle too as well. And then we have from Bloomberg.com talking about, the implementation of how to invest in cryptocurrency. So you're starting to see a lot of the, bigger news articles start to come out about how you can get involved in crypto now, even though after all the bear market years, they've been talking about crypto, you shouldn't be holding crypto, this and that. So, it's a given to see that, during the euphoric times that people are going to start FOMOing into this market, and you're going to start to see these sell-offs to occur too as well. And then Forbes comes out with the article too. Bitcoin braces for a shock 500 million earthquake. So Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets have swung wildly over the last week, with the Bitcoin price briefly nudging its 2017 all-time high. This Bitcoin price climbed to around 19,500 per Bitcoin last week before a sharp correction saw its fall as low as 16,000. Now the Bitcoin price has bounced back, given a boost to other major cryptocurrencies after a 200 billion asset manager revealed it could seek investment exposure to Bitcoin indirectly to the tune of 500 million via Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So Grayscale, obviously we know that they're getting heavily involved inside of the crypto space too as well. And these bigger individuals and bigger companies are steadily buying up all the Bitcoin that is being mined pretty much every single day too as well. And so we can kind of go into it a little bit more here. Macro Opportunities funds around 5 billion in net assets, meaning it could invest as much as 500 million in the Grayscale Bitcoin investment vehicle, but will steer clear of direct Bitcoin and cryptocurrency exposure. Except for its investment in Grayscale Bitcoin, the fund will not invest directly or indirectly in cryptocurrencies, the filing read. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust allows investors to trade shares in funds that hold a large amount of Bitcoin, with Grayscale launching several other cryptocurrency-backed trusts. Since debuting its flagship Bitcoin fund in 2013, investors buying shares in Grayscale Bitcoin Trust gain exposure to Bitcoin without having to go through the tricky process of buying and holding large amounts of cryptocurrencies themselves. So yeah, this is obviously a way that you can have a broker such as Grayscale to invest in cryptocurrencies for you, by you basically purchasing contracts through Grayscale Trust, right? And I do believe that there is a Grayscale Trust chart as well, and so that's what we'll be diving on into next. So let's go ahead and dive on into the charts here and see what we can determine. All right, so we're taking a look at Bitcoin as of right now. And I just want to give a brief reminder that we use the Market Cipher Indicator by CryptoFace on this channel, alongside with the TI Sequential by ToneBase and the Market Guide buy and sell signal. So you can check out oops, didn't want to do that. Let's go back over here. Here we are, right here. So you can also check out CryptoFace's indicator special if you're interested. If you want to pick that up, there's a link in the description box below. Feel free to check it out. And you can also become a reseller of Market Cipher 2 as well by entering your own username down here. But once you sign up for the link, I do believe that he's still running his special as of right now. So definitely maybe the site's down right now. I'm not too sure what's going on there. But anywho, you can check the link in the description box below if you want to pick up Market Cipher. And we'll go into the charts from here. So taking a look at the 45-minute, we were kind of noticing a little bit of a bearish possible head and shoulders here that could be forming. So I would keep a close eye on this. Possibly if we are to push a little bit further down, we could break this support line and maybe start to travel a little bit ways down there. But what we're also noticing is money flow also rounding off on some of these smaller time frames. And then as we start to move into the mid time frames, we're starting to see money flow still staying consistent, but obviously still seeing a little bit of rejection here on some of these mid time frames as well. Money flow is still looking good on the 2 hour, but you can see we're still getting a little bit of a rejection with a red dot there too as well. So we're going to start to see, I would like to see us get back into that $19,000 range to continue our, ascend past, 19.9K. But it does look like we are struggling just a tad bit. 4 hour time frame, money flow is looking a little thin here. So what we're going to keep a close eye on, if you're looking at the 4 hour time frame, is you're going to keep a close eye on the momentum wave here. So we're still seeing a little bit of rejection, another red dot here on the momentum wave of the 4 hour time frame. And let's start to zoom out a little bit more. Let's take a look at maybe at the 8 hour time frame, also seeing kind of a little bit of a bearish divergence here as we're starting to kind of trickle off. Money flow still looks relatively good though, and I think that's where if we start to zoom out and get a broader picture of Bitcoin, it still looks to be pretty nice. We did have this rejection at about 18,000 percent or 18% or so, and this was during our Black Friday special. So obviously this was a great time to buy Bitcoin during Black Friday, and we just had a nice little steady increase from there too as well. So we did have quite a little bit of a wick here to the downside, which would be a little bit of a turning point. But you can start to see here that we're starting to see a few more dojis pop up on the screen, and it could give us another little push to the upside. We're looking at support on our 8-hour time frame right at about the 21 EMA as of right now. So if we are to dip below that 21 EMA, obviously we could expect lower numbers. Taking a look at the 10-hour time frame, 10-hour time frame still holding up above support on the 21 EMA as well. We've always kept a close eye on our 21 EMA on our 10-hour time frame, and what we're kind of seeing here is we've been bouncing off of the 21 EMA, and then during Black Friday special we had that sell-off, and then we bounced up above it again. So now we're still looking for a little bit of support here. I would imagine that our buy pressure is going to probably push us past that 20K mark. For the most part, it's looking like we're just kind of consolidating right underneath 20K until we can get that buy pressure to shoot us past that marker. So I do believe that 20K target is going to be happening probably. Looking at the 12-hour time frame, it did look like we had a little bit of a dip here, but no sign of a red dot just yet. It does look like we are kind of recovering as of right now, starting to see a little bit of a doji consistency happen here as we start to accumulate out to the side and maybe see some of that buy pressure come on into the market. Money flow here on the 12 hours still looking relatively good, and our daily time frame money flow is still looking really sharp as well too. Let's take a look at some of these higher time frames, such as the 3-day and such. So also the 1 day, I did want to take note is that we are sitting above our 21 EMA still, even during our recent dip. So the fact that we could probably have a retracement all the way back down to 17,000 or so, I would not take that out of the picture just yet. If we are to see a little bit more sell pressure before we pass 20K, we're looking at about 17,000 or so for us to dip down below that 17.5, and then make our way possibly past the 20K mark too as well before a lot of these exchanges need to have that liquidity on the market too as well. And so if we see that dip, don't be freaking out, and I would say that we'll probably hold support here on the 21 EMA for the most part. Taking a look at the 3-day chart. So we did have this red dot here on our 3-day chart, but it does look like we are seeing a little bit of consolidation out to the side. I would wait for another Christmas tree pattern here. I had told y'all, I think in a few videos before, that we were going to be looking for a little bit of consolidation out to the side and then start to see some up and down bouncing here with some green and red Christmas tree patterns getting ready for the Christmas holidays. And then Bitcoin will probably end up shooting past that 20K level as well. And same with the 4-day, 5-day. We are seeing a little bit of a bearish count here on the TI sequential, with our topping out on the 13, aggressive 13 here. But, I think that we're going to probably stick to our guns, and our sticking to our guns is using market Cipher. And, it does look like we probably will have some of those Christmas tree patterns that want to play out here on some of these higher time frames. So just be prepared for that. I would expect a lot of buy pressure to come in the next couple of days or so as we start to consolidate out to the side. But if anything, you could be seeing a sell-off at about, going into that $17,500 area or so. And I wouldn't take that out of the picture just yet. It's still in the playbooks if we are to see a little bit of a sell-off. So just a heads up on that if it is to occur. But let's take a look at our fiat currency. Let's take a look at actually the dominance chart. We'll take a look at dominance and see what's kind of happening here with our Bitcoin dominance chart. Zooming out here on the 2-day, still seeing a little bit of rejection, consolidation for the most part, I would say. What we want to see is probably a push back up above the 21 EMA here. Money flows out, obviously clipping to the upside here too as well. So looking relatively nice. We're still waiting for our money flow on our 3-day to start pushing back up into that greenish area. It does look like our VWAP is clipping to the upside, possibly willing to give us a green dot there on the 3-day. Looking at the daily time frame, it looks like we have gotten a green dot already here. Now we're looking for possibly a move back to the upside here with Bitcoin dominance as well. If we take out our fib retracement levels from our recent sell-off, yeah, we could possibly be looking for a move back up to 64% or maybe even the 65% area or so. That's where I would give or take our next push to the upside for the most part. This nice trigger wave down here to push us back up a little bit further, relatively bullish with the bullish divergence as well, giving us a little bit more pressure to the upside and ready to maybe send Bitcoin past that 20K level. So keep a close eye on the dominance chart if you're interested in that. You know, but I would look for probably some high volatility to take place within the next couple of days before the market really decides and figures itself out on where it wants to go, if it wants to break down to that $17,000 area or if it wants to push past 20K. That's what we're going to need to be looking out for as of right now. Let's take a look at the fiat chart and we'll take a look at the DXY and just see how much the dollar is collapsing as of right now. Dang, it is crazy, y'all. So the dollar is sitting right at about 90 cents or so. And it does look like we are going to be testing some of those previous low numbers all the way back from when, you know, 2018 or so. And actually, you know, we reached these numbers during our last bull market cycle. So if we're even to overlay the dollar devaluation over the Bitcoin chart, our last bull run peak in 2017, 2018, the dollar was definitely on a steady decline as well. And so what we're seeing here is the dollar also kind of collapsing as of right now. What we're going to be looking for is probably a retest at about the 90 cent area or so. And then maybe if we break that, probably looking for about 88 cents or so. So that's still on our radar for the dollar devaluation. And the dollar collapse that is occurring as of right now. And, you know, that's why you have a lot of the institutional investors that are wanting to find something that's going to make them still hold their wealth. And obviously Bitcoin is right there to do that for them. Let's take a look at ETH, just see where our altcoins are kind of sitting at as of right now. So let's taking a look at ETH to USD. ETH to USD, let's zoom in here just a tad bit. Our daily time frame, so we did break up above our pivot trend line and then we broke below it. Now we are steadily trying to find support above it once again, holding support on our 21 EMA here on our daily time frame, still looking relatively good. You know, we did have that dip just like Bitcoin all the way down to the 21 EMA and then found a nice little bounce there too. So if we are to get another dip to our 21 EMA, if we end up in a bearish position, we're looking at about $530 or so for a dip to the downside. And then if not, we're going to be continually rising here for the most part. RSIs kind of are in a little bit of an overbought position, but nothing to be too significant of, possibly forming a little bit of a head and shoulders here on our daily, which could send us a little bit lower. But, you know, Ethereum's looking a little volatile as of right now. If we start to zoom out on Ethereum, it still looks like we do have a lot of momentum to the upside. Money flow is still looking relatively good on these higher time frames as well too. So I would just give or take that we could have a little bit of a sell-off, possibly all the way back down to that 21 EMA. And then if we break below that, we're in a little bit more of a bearish scenario. But as of right now, we're trying to hold support above this pivot trend line here. And let's see if we can do that with Ethereum. So I think that's going to do it for today's video, folks. Don't forget, we have our Patreon page where you can find all the altcoins that we're trading in and out of this market, how we're trading Bitcoin, and also just a lot of different things on how to stake your altcoins, how to earn interest on your crypto as well. So we offer a lot of different things in the Patreon page. If you're interested in joining that, there's a link in the description box below. Don't forget, if you're brand new to cryptocurrency and you have no idea what I'm talking about on this channel, well, thanks for sticking around. We offer a beginner guide to crypto, path to cryptocurrency. So if you're interested in joining that, you can take a look at that. It's basically just how to store your crypto safely, what exchanges we've been using for the past 3 years or so, being inside of the crypto market. And yeah, we talk about altcoins as well. So check that out. You'll get access to our private Discord category whenever you join either the course or the Patreon page. So check that out if you're interested. And then also, we are on our way to 3,000 subs. Once we hit 3,000 subs, we'll be doing a $100 giveaway and one of our favorite altcoins. And in order to qualify for that giveaway, you need to be signed up for our newsletter. So make sure that you sign up for our newsletter, link in the description box below. And then also, we do just have public access to our Discord server. If you want to join it, find the link in the description box. And then also, our Telegram announcements page is a public page too as well. So if you want to stay up to date on when we launch our videos and when we're doing specials as well, feel free to check that out. But for the most part, I think that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that we make on this channel. Comment down below. Let me know how you're feeling about this market. Do you think we're headed up, or do you think we're going to pass 20K or possibly see a retracement? I'm curious to know. Let me know. Share the video. I'll see you on the next one. CTO signing out. Peace.